Hello everyone. Am I audible and visible? Somebody please ping me so that I can begin today's session. Because in today's session we are going to understand what kind of questions have cropped up in UPSC Prelims examination related to ancient, medieval and modern Indian history. Apart from that, just give me a second guys. Apart from that, we will also analyze what can be the probable trend of UPSC examination in 2026. Okay. Yes, Jugnu, good evening. Good evening, Reshman. Okay, thank you. So, please keep the session interactive. We'll go in a gradual step-by-step manner so that you can understand on what core things that you need to focus upon. Okay, like today itself in the morning, I had a Zoom session around 12 p.m. And I had a question from one of the aspirant and he asked the question, sir, how to prioritize the topics? Okay. Or how do we make a timetable specifically and study according to the trend of UPSC exam? I have told you there itself in the Zoom session, just a second. First of all, do not make hefty timetable. Make realistic targets that you can achieve. Okay? Yes, good evening, Shini. Then, apart from that, prioritize the topics that are more important. Like ancient Indian history, there are wide topics. In fact, history is a very wide subject. Ancient India, medieval India, modern India. Okay, then art and culture, world history. There are varied topics specifically in history. So how do we prioritize the topics? On what basis do we prioritize the topics? We'll understand that today. Okay, so please pay attention carefully. Stick in the video till the end so that you can understand on what topics we need to focus more. Okay. So rather than going for more answer-based approach, we are going to understand what is the focus of UPSC. Okay. In 2024, there was a question specifically related to Upanishad. There are no parables in Upanishad, first statement. Second, Upanishads were composed earlier than Purana. Okay. Precisely speaking, answer to this question is only two. But more than the answer, listen to the explanation which is very important. Okay. Vedas. The word Ved has been derived from the Sanskrit word which means Vidya or knowledge. And totally there are 4 Vedas. Rigved, Samved, Yajurved and Atharvaved. And there are different texts which are attached to these Vedas. And these texts are referred as Brahmanas. Brahmanas are not the people. Okay, Brahmanas are the text attached to each Vedas. Clear? Like Rig Ved. Now Rig Ved, it comprises of 10 mandals. Okay, and mandal 3 you can find the mention of specifically Gayatri Mantra, which was being composed by Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra ji, he was initially a ruler whose name was Raja Kaushik. Okay, in Purusha Sukta, which is again a part of Rig Ved, specifically Mandal 10 of Rig Ved, one finds the mention of Varna system. And Aitreya and Kaushtaki Brahman are associated with Rig Ved. This question again has been asked in the UPSC Prelims examination. Aitreya and Kaushtaki Brahman are associated with which Ved? So it is attached with Rig Ved. Okay. Then coming to Samved, the origin of Indian music can be traced back to Samved. Okay. In fact, the musical instrument Veena, it finds mention in Samved. There are different Brahmans. Again, I'm repeating, Brahmans are not people. Yes, good evening, Nivedita. Brahmanas are the text associated with each Ved. So the different Brahmans associated with Samved are Panchvish, Sadvish, Jaiminya, Tandamaha and Talwakar Brahman. Talwakar Brahman has been asked in the UPSC Prelims examination. Coming to Yajurved, the word Yajur has been derived from the word Yajus. Okay, and Yajus basically means Yagna. Specifically speaking, Yajurved is divided into 2 important parts, Krishna Yajurved and Shukla Yajurved. Krishna Yajurved is also referred as Black Yajurved, and Shukla Yajurved is also referred as White Yajurved. And there are Brahmanas again associated with Yajurved. That is Maitrayani Brahman, one of the most important one, Satapat Brahman. Yes, perfect. Reshbarm, rituals specifically. So again, Satapat Brahman has been asked in the examination. And Atharva Ved, many historians do say that Atharva Ved is a book on black magic. And many Vedic scholars, in fact, do not consider Atharva Ved as a part of Ved. They believe in the concept of Vedatrayi. Vedatrayi means there are three Vedas: Rigved, Samved, and Yajurved. But Atharva Ved is also one of the most important Ved. So, specifically speaking, Gopath is a Brahman associated with Atharva Ved. Okay. So, specifically speaking, there have been a question in the UPSC Prelims examination, which among the following Veda also speaks about different charms and spell. So, it is Atharva Ved, the fourth one. Again, so moving ahead, after this Vedas, there is a concept called as Aranyakas. Aranya basically means what? I'll give you a small example. As per Upanishad, there are 4 stages of life. The first stage of life is referred as Brahmacharya, where one's prime responsibility is to acquire knowledge. Second is Grihasthashram, where a person enters into his married and worldly life. Third is specifically Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means when a person feels that he has completely fulfilled all his worldly aspirations. Okay, correct Vikas? Forest? He has fulfilled all his worldly aspirations. In such a case, he starts moving towards jungle. And whatever books are written there were referred as Aranyaka, because the word Aranya means forest. Direct question UPSC has asked on this. Not even in the form of consider the following statement. What are Aranyakas? So Aranyakas are nothing but forest books. And then comes Upanishad. The word Upanishad, it has been derived from 2 words, Up and Sad. Sad means sit. Up means nearby. Sitting near the Guru's feet to gain knowledge is Upanishad. Totally there are 108 Upanishad. And in that case, 11 are the most important one. And I'll tell you which questions have been asked in the UPSC examination. The concept of Tattvamasi, it finds mention in which Upanishad? So it finds mention in Chanda Yoga Upanishad. The concept of karma doctrine finds mention in which Upanishad? I'm telling you the questions that have been asked in the UPSC Prelims exam. Okay. So it finds mention in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. So Brihad Aranyaka and Chanda Yoga Upanishad are the oldest one. Most important one. What is our national motto, my friends? Yes? Please keep the session interactive. If you have any kind of a doubt, please feel free to ask. Yes? What is our national motto? Anyone? Satyameva Jayate Nanritam. Truth alone triumphs and not the falsehood. And this finds mention in Mundaka Upanishad, which in fact is derived from Atharva Ved. And this question has been asked in the UPSC Prelims exam. Okay. Apart from this, another important Upanishad, I have just spoken that there are 4 ashrams or 4 stages of life. True? Yes, very good. Vikas, Satyamev Jayate is our national motto. Yes. Shreya, yes, perfect. Satyamev Jayate. Vikas, Katha Upanishad, it's a different one. Yes, there have been a question on Katha Upanishad as well. Okay. So, specifically speaking, Satyamev Jayate, Mundaka Upanishad. There are 4 ashrams of life, 4 stages. We have spoken a while back. These 4 stages of life or these 4 ashrams of life, they find mention in Jabal Upanishad. A question has been asked. And right now, Vikas, you have talked about one of the Upanishads which is referred as this one, Katha Upanishad. So Katha Upanishad, it specifies the dialogue between a 13-year-old boy, Nachiket, okay, and Yam, that is god of death. Correct? So this explanation, I'll sum up this explanation of the question number 1. Simple words focus on the literature part. And I'll be going through 10 questions of this ancient India and approximately 8 to 10 questions of modern India. I'll tell you the trend that has been followed by UPSC. Okay? So from the perspective of Vedic literature, there is more emphasis on the different aspects of Vedic literature. Vedang, that is 6 limb of Vedas. So do focus on that. Clear? This is how you make your preparation more sound and dynamic, because you try to analyze the trend of UPSC. Moving ahead. Okay. So specifically speaking, there are different Upanishads. Like, yes, one more question has been come. Just a second. Okay. वॉइस फ्लिकर हो रही है. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Vasudev Kutumbam. It appears specifically. Yes, Anushya, he has answered the question. It appears in Maha Upanishad. Okay. Again, there are different Upanishads which speaks about different aspects of soul. Central theme of all the Upanishad is soul. One more suggestion I'll give you guys. Okay. If you have time, like for example, whenever you are sitting for your lunch or dinner, we have a habit of what? We watch some of the other web series. If you are actually interested in bit of philosophy, although the series is in Hindi, you can watch that. If you like specifically understand Hindi, you can watch that. That is Upanishad Ganga. Okay, it's a free series which is available on YouTube. And you will get the crux of all the important Upanishads. There are approximately more than 40 episodes, and these are small episodes. So that will help you upload your knowledge. Okay, then archaeological sites. Which among the following archaeological sites information are given correctly? Answer to this is 2 and 3. Now, see, questions crop up in what manner? Let's understand again. Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age, and Chalcolithic age. Now, if we talk about different ages, okay, there is certain characteristic feature of every age. The development of stone tools, it took place during Chalcolithic age. It is divided specifically into 3 parts: lower, middle, and upper. Okay. Second specifically is Mesolithic age. The most striking feature of Mesolithic age is specifically anyone, domestication of animal. The third one is Neolithic age. And in the third stage, we can observe development of agriculture for the first time. And many Neolithic sites have been asked in the examination. I'll give you one of the finest example of a Neolithic site which is located in Kashmir. Any wild guess? Yes, the most important Neolithic site located in Kashmir. The meaning of that site is bark of a birch tree. Any guesses? Yes? Yes, development of wheel, agriculture, rock cut, architecture, painting. Yes? Take a wild guess. I'm talking about a Neolithic site located in Kashmir, a very important one. Its name is Burzahom. Yes, Gufkral is there. Burzahom. I have told you its meaning is bark of a birch tree. Vikas. Okay. So Burzahom, it's a Neolithic site which is located in Kashmir. It is believed that the people in Burzahom lived near the lakeside inside the pits. First thing. Secondly, the people at the site of Burzahom, it is believed that the master and the dog both were buried in the same grave at the site of Burzahom. Clear? So, yes, known for cultivation of paddy, agriculture was highly practiced. Another important site of Neolithic age, okay, was Mehergarh. And Mehergarh at that time was a advanced, what we say, site. Why? People in Mehergarh used to live inside mud brick houses. And this site, Mehergarh, it is located in Pakistan. So, another important site, Giyak and Kiari, these are the important site which is located in Ladakh. Now take a wild guess. Kuchai and Golbai Sasan, where are these sites located? Yes. Excuse me. Kuchai and Golbai Sasan, where are these sites located? Fast. Take a guess. Yes, Shreya, Bhimbetka Caves, another important site which is located in Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh. Kuchai and Golbai Sasan, these are the important sites which are located in Odisha. Okay. Now, Chalcolithic age. Chalco. The word Chalco has been derived, the word Chalco, it's a Latin word which basically means copper. So although copper was the first metal to be discovered by man, it doesn't mean that stone was abandoned. Okay. So here it is also referred as stone copper phase. And many questions have been asked. Which among the following site where a skeleton have been found with 29 bangles? The site is referred as Kayatha. Kayatha, it's a site located in Ujjain. Approximately 29 to 30 kilometers from Ujjain. Yes, very good, Supernova. Jorve culture. It is also referred as Jorve culture. Very good. Similarly, many Paleolithic sites have been asked. Okay, I'll give you a very small example. Hiran Valley. Just take a wild guess. Keep the session interactive, guys. Hiran Valley, it's a Paleolithic site located in which state? Yes. It is located in Gujarat. Inamgaon, Supernova, it is located in Maharashtra, Ahmednagar. Okay. So, specifically speaking, the most important one, Hiran Valley, located in Gujarat. Hungsi, located in Gulbarga district, Karnataka. Belan Valley, located in Mirzapur district of Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Pahalgam, located in Kashmir. All these are important Paleolithic site. Another important site I'll be telling you of Rajasthan. It is located on the banks of river Kothari. And for the first time, we found the evidence of microlith from here. Can you take a guess? Yes, Shreya, there is also a site in Hungsi, Gulbarga district of Karnataka. Perfect, Shreya. Yes, very good, Shreya. UP, that is Belan Valley. What about this? Where for the first time the evidence of microlith have been found. These are very important ones, guys. Just take a wild guess. Evidence of microlith. Yes, it is a site located on the banks of Kothari river in Rajasthan. And the name of the site is Bagor. Yes, another question I'll ask you. This question has been asked in the UPSC examination. As I've told you, animal domestication for the first time began during Mesolithic age. Now, for the first time, where did we get the evidence of animal domestication in India? Yes? Any guesses? First time animal domestication evidences. Yes, the site is referred as Adamgarh, not Azamgarh, okay? Azamgarh, it is located in Uttar Pradesh. Adamgarh, it is located in Hoshangabad district, that is Madhya Pradesh. So sites are very important. You need to go through the sites. So one thing that we learned was Rig Vedic literature is important. Apart from this, sites are important. Again, I'll be asking you a few questions specifically about Indus Valley Civilization site. So, Harappa, every one of us know. Indus Valley Civilization, very good Vikas, Adamgarh. Ramesh, it's not UP. Adamgarh, it is in Madhya Pradesh, Hoshangabad district. Okay. Now, Indus Valley Civilization, every one of us know about this, that Indus Valley Civilization, there are different sites. The first site of Indus Valley Civilization was, yes, Harappa. Hence, Indus Valley Civilization is also referred as Harappan Civilization. But what kind of questions do crop up in the examination? Water conservation system have been observed for the first time at which Indus Valley Civilization site? It was observed at a site called as, yes, take a guess. I'll give you a hint. It is located in Gujarat. Yes, take a guess, guys. Take a guess. A very important one. In local Gujarati language, that place is also called as Kotada Timba. And I'll give you a clue. It's not what we say Lothal. Very good, Vikas. It's Dholavira. Tropic of Cancer passes through this site. For the first time, water conservation system have been observed here. Okay. Now let me ask you another important question. Which among the following site exhibit Proto-Harappan as well as Harappan cultural phase? Okay. Now, first option is Banavali, second is Kalibangan, and third option is Chanudaro. So please tell me, first is Banavali, second is this one, Kalibangan, and the third one is Chanudaro. So I'll give you hint. Okay, I'll give you the options: A, 1, 2, 3, B, 1 and 2, C, only 2, D, none. Take a guess. Which among the following site exhibit Proto-Harappan and Harappan cultural phase? That was a simple question. Okay, the first option was Banavali, the second one was Kalibangan, and the third one was Chanudaro. So, Vikas, you go for Kalibangan. That is only 2. What about the others? Okay, Kirti, Harappa. Okay, you are answering for the previous one. Answer to this question is B. That is 1 and 2. Banavali, located in Haryana, and Kalibangan, located in Rajasthan, exhibit Proto-Harappan as well as Harappan cultural phase. Okay, very good, Shreya. Very good, Vikas. So, these sites are very important from the exam perspective. So, you can expect questions on sites as well. Moving ahead. In the end, I'll be telling you what you guys need to focus upon. Now, with reference to ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? Naiput, Sakyamuni, Tathagat. Answer to this question again is B. Now, let's understand about this. Now, listen to me for the next 4 to 5 minutes carefully. And I'm pretty sure you don't need to memorize any of the concepts. Like, what happens? We have a habit of rote memorization. What is the meaning of the word Tathagat? What is the meaning of the word Mahabhinishkraman, Mahaparinirvan, Sakyamuni, and so on? Okay. Just listen to this short story of 5 to 7 minutes. I'm pretty sure you will understand what are 4 great sites. What is Mahabhinishkraman? What is Bhumi Sparsh Mudra, or what is the significance of Bhumi Sparsh Mudra? A question asked in UPSC examination. What is Dharma Chakra Parivartan or Dharma Chakra Mudra? Let's understand about this. Buddha. Yes, very good. Belong to Sakya clan, Vikas. Perfect. Buddha. His original name was Siddharth. The word Siddharth basically means one who achieves his aim irrespective of the circumstances. His father, Shuddhodhan, was the head of Sakya clan, and his mother was Mahamaya. It is said that when his mother was pregnant, it is believed that she dreamt of a white elephant having 1.5 tusks. Okay, so specifically it is believed that she spoke about this dream to her husband, Shuddhodhan. Shuddhodhan called the astrologer and asked him to decode the dream. He said that you'll get a good news and a bad news. Now, before delivery, it is believed that Siddharth's mother, Mahamaya, she moved from the region of Kapilavastu to Lumbini. And as soon as she entered Lumbini, she started getting labor pains. And she delivered a baby boy. He was referred as Siddharth, and the birth of Buddha is referred as, it's celebrated as Buddha Purnima in India and Vesaka in different Southeast Asian countries. So immediately after 7 days of his birth, Siddharth's mother passed away. And he was raised up by his aunt, whose name was Prajapati Gautami. At the very young age of 16, Siddharth, he was married to Yashodhara, his wife, and later on he had a son named as Rahula. Now, at the age of 29, once upon a time, he was driving down his town along with his charioteer, whose name was Channa. And 4 incidents drastically changed Siddharth's life. One was an old man bent with age, a sick man groaning with pain, a corpse or a dead body, and finally an ascetic. He was very much fascinated towards that ascetic. Why? Because when there is so much of dukh, pain and suffering in this world, it's believed that he was so calm, cool and composed. After having a dialogue with him, it is believed that at a very young age of 29, Siddhartha decided to renounce his worldly life. And that process is referred as Mahabhinishkraman. So what is Mahabhinishkraman? Renunciation of worldly life. As soon as he renounces his worldly life, the first place he visits was specifically, yes, any guesses? He visited Rajgriha. And at that time, Bimbisar was the ruler of Rajgriha, a very good ally, a very good friend of Shuddhodhan. Now Bimbisar offered him certain part of the throne, but he said that, I am a prince, I have the entire kingdom for me. Here I am on a very different mission in search of truth. And from here, he moves to Vaishali. At Vaishali, he meets two spiritual teachers, two spiritual mentors, Alara Kalam and Udak. He became so expert in meditation, Siddhartha became so expert that Udak said that, instead of me, now you teach students the meditative practices. Again, he replied the same thing. I am on a very different mission in search of truth. At the age of 35, Siddhartha reaches Gaya. And here, he was offered rice milk for the first time by a farmer's daughter whose name was Sujata. And under a peepal tree, on the banks of Niranjana or Falgu river, Siddhartha attained enlightenment on the 49th day. And from now onwards, Siddhartha was referred as Buddha. Buddha means the enlightened one. The first mudra that was being performed by Siddhartha after attaining enlightenment was Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. And this question has been asked in the UPSC examination. What is the significance of Bhumi Sparsha Mudra? You can Google that. Okay. Now, after attaining enlightenment, he is also referred as Sakya Muni. Why? Because his father belonged to Sakya clan. He is also referred as Tathagat. Tathagat basically means pathfinder of truth. He gave his first sermon at a place called as Sarnath near Varanasi, and that is referred as Dharma Chakra Parivartan, and the mudra that was performed was Dharma Chakra Mudra in this manner. Okay. So, till the age of 80, he delivered sermons across different places in India. Many places in India. Okay. Yes, very good. Vaishali on the banks of river Rijupalika. Yes, Vaishali is located on the banks of Rijupalika. Vikas, perfect. So, it is said that, at a place called as Vaishali itself, he told one of his favorite disciple, Anand, that the day of my passing is coming near. So, he was sitting in his hut, and it was it was specifically a late time. There was a person who was weeping outside his hut. He comes to Buddha heard about this and asked Anand, who is crying outside? Who is weeping outside? Please call him in. He was being called in, and he asked that person, why are you crying? Now, this person said that, I have heard that you are going to relinquish your body. He says, yes. So, who will show us the path of light? Who will show us the path of truth? So, Buddha replied here, Apa Deepo Bhava. Many Buddhist scholars believe that these are among the last words of Buddha. Apa Deepo Bhava basically means be your own light. Okay, and Buddha died at the age of 80 at a place called as Kushinagar or Pava, which is located in UP. And the death of Buddha is called as Mahaparinirvana. Clear? After the death of Buddha, his body relics were being distributed among 8 royal families, and a stupa was constructed over it. So what does stupa signify? Stupa simply signifies death of Buddha or Mahaparinirvana. Okay? Yes, first Republican, Vaishali. Very good, Vikas. So, specifically speaking, Buddhism and Jainism are one of the most important topics, and in fact, it can be considered as favorite topics of UPSC. Although this year there wasn't any question from that section, but yes, there are questions. They can ask you a question on important Buddhist monasteries, and they have asked the questions. The location of important stupas, the mudras associated with Buddhism, Bhumi Sparsha Mudra, Dharma Chakra Mudra, Karna Mudra, Anjali Mudra. Okay, there can be different questions on this. Important Buddhist council. Which among the following Buddhist council was held in Sanskrit language? So only fourth Buddhist council which was held in Kashmir and patronized by, yes, Kushan dynasty ruler Kanishk. So that council, it was held in Sanskrit language. The previous three were in the Pali language. Clear? So Buddhist councils are important one. Apart from this, the sect of Buddhism, Hinayan, Mahayana and Vajrayana. Similarly, Jainism, important Tirthankars of Jainism. Like the first one being Rishabhnath or Adinath ji, whose symbol was bull. Another important one, 23rd Tirthankar, Parshavnath ji. The last one, 24th Tirthankar of Jainism, that is Vardhaman Mahavir ji, whose symbol was lion. There are 5 cardinal principles of Jainism, correct? Such as, specifically speaking, Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya or Achurya, Aparigraha means non-possession, and finally Brahmacharya. Only the last principle, Brahmacharya, was given by Vardhaman Mahavir. And the first 4 principles were given by Parshavnath ji, the 23rd Tirthankar. There were 2 Jain councils. What are the 9 tattvas of Jainism? All these questions have been asked in the UPSC examination. Such as Naiput, this was the name given to Vardhaman Mahavir. Nathputra. Why? Because his father, he was the head of the Natrik clan. Hence, Mahavir was given the name of Nathaputra. Okay? So, Buddhism and Jainism, these are the core and important topics. And you cannot skip this topic at any cost. Clear? So, one thing you might have learned by now, that whenever you are studying history, follow a very simplistic pattern. And that pattern is SFC, story, fact and concept. Correct? Because whenever you correlate any fact or a concept with a story, it becomes quite easier for you to retain those concepts. Isn't that so? Moving ahead. Regions flourished, Dhanya, Katak, which flourished in the prominent Buddhist center. It is located in Andhra. As I have talked about, the sites are also very important. Stupas are also very important, and you can also correlate things from current affairs. Okay. For example, if you're reading a newspaper, in that case, you come across any stupa, you come across any Buddhist site, please note that down. In such a manner, the questions can be correlated. Now, I'll ask you a very simple question. Few days back, there was a place called as Palitana. Okay. It was in news. Have you heard about this place, Palitana? It was in news, Palitana. And my question is, where is this place located and why this place is important? Take a guess. Supernova. See, the point I'll tell you. Concepts you can remember. But remembering the sites, I'll give you a very simple example for this. For example, if you have noted down approximately 40 to 50 sites of ancient India. Okay? Go for a weekly revision at least once. I'm not saying that go for rote memorization. Just have a glance of it. Okay? Automatically, you'll start retaining those sites. For example, like you study geography. Suppose you're studying Indian geography. You're studying the rivers of India or the hill ranges of India. There is one technique for that as well. And what's that technique? Observe the map on daily basis for 10 minutes. Don't force yourself to memorize it. Okay? Because if you memorize, for a certain amount of time, you'll remember that. But after some time, you'll forget. So do one thing. Note these sites. And after noting down these sites, do one thing. Okay? What's that? Just go for 5 minutes. Just have a look at these sites. 5 minutes. That's it. Automatically, you'll retain these sites. Hope so, Supernova. I have answered your question. Okay? Anyone? Where is this Palitana located? Why was it in news? My friends, Palitana, it is the first 100% vegetarian city of India. And this place is located in Gujarat. Precisely, it is said that at Palitana, it's a very important place concerning Jainism. Yes, very good, Shreya. Yes, it's a correct guess. So, it is a very important site concerning Jainism. Like there is a hill here called as Shatrunjaya Hill. Okay. And specifically, Shatrunjaya Hills, it has been sanctified by 23 out of 24 Tirthankars, except one, that is Neminath, whose symbol was conch shell. He was 22nd Tirthankar, I guess. Okay. So in this manner, you can correlate things. I'll ask you another question. Okay. Let me ask you. As per Jainism, there are two important sects. That is Digambar and Shwetambar. True? So as per Digambar, all the Tirthankar are male. And as per Shwetambar, one Tirthankar is female. Can you name them? Yes, can you please name? Anyone? Take a wild guess. Tirthankar again is a very important section. Okay. Yes. 19th Tirthankar, whose name was Malli Bai. Okay, Digambar refer it as Malli Nath. Her symbol was Kalash. And there's a temple dedicated to Malli Bai located in Tamil Nadu, Mallagurdi Jain Temple. Okay, so study in that manner. Yes, very good, Shreya. Very good. Clear? Stupa, we were discussing right now. So, specifically speaking, stupa, it signifies what? Stupa simply signifies, this was a question again asked in 2023. Stupa again, it signifies what? Mahaparinirvan or death of Buddha. Clear? And stupa, this concept actually find mentioned for the first time in Rigveda. Now, there are three kinds of stupas. Although Buddhism, during the time of Buddhism, it got more prominence. But actually, this is not the concept related to Buddhism. It was prevalent from previous time itself. So, because it finds mention in Rigveda. So, the most important aspect, there are three kinds of stupas. Sharirik stup, Updeshika stup and Paribhogika stup. Sharirik stup are those stupas which are constructed over the body relics of Buddha. Sanchi stup. Okay, one of the finest example. Paribhogika stup. Paribhogika stup are those stupas which are constructed over the belongings of Buddha. I'll give you a very simple example about this. Like Buddha's alms bowl, a stupa has been constructed which is located in Bihar. And that stupa is Kesariya stup. So it is nothing but Paribhogika stup. Updeshika stup specifically means what? These are the stupa constructed to highlight the teachings of Buddha. So stupa, again, it's a very favorite topic of UPSC. I've talked about this. Like if you want to note down, you can note it down along with me. I'm noting down this on the board. What topic do you need to focus on Buddhism? First thing, the journey of Siddhartha to Buddha. Then, Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Path. Panchakhand theory, also referred as Panchaskand. You cannot miss these topics. Okay? Sect of Buddhism, Hinayan, Mahayana and Vajrayana. Buddhist literature. And the most important one, three Pitakas. Three Pitakas basically means three basket of books. You can note this down, guys. Three Pitakas basically means three basket of books. Vinay Pitak, Sutta Pitak and Abhidhamma Pitak. Okay? Caves, monasteries. Okay. Now, I'll ask you a simple question. Which monastery is also referred as Ajanta of Himalayas? Can anyone take a wild guess? Which monastery is also referred as Ajanta of Himalayas? Take a wild guess. Yes? It is located in Spiti Valley. I'll give you a small hint. And this has been asked in the examination. Tabo Monastery. It is called as Ajanta of Himalayas. Okay? So, monasteries. Questions have also been asked on Bodhisattvas. Caves we have covered. Okay. Monasteries you have to cover. Bodhisattvas, important Bodhisattva. What is the concept of Bodhisattva after all? Direct question UPSC has asked, what is Chaitya and Vihar? Okay, 4 Buddhist councils. So these are the important and the major topics or subtopics as a part of Buddhism. You cannot expect, apart from this terminologies, like what is Tathagat, what is Sakya Muni, what is Mahabhinishkraman. Okay, so specifically Chaitya means, yes, perfect, Shreya, you have taken a good guess. Chaitya is a prayer hall. Okay, also referred as Chaitya Griha. And Vihar means residing place for monks and nuns. Okay, like Nalanda Vihar, one of the most important one. I'll ask you a question. Who constructed the famous Nalanda University and who destroyed it? Yes, Nalanda University was one of the most important ones. It is considered as epitome of knowledge and wisdom. So who constructed the monastery, or who laid the foundation of monastery, and who destroyed it? Yes, take a guess, guys. Very good, Vikas. Very good, very good. Shreya, very good. Gupta dynasty ruler, Kumar Gupt. Okay, he laid the foundation. Very good, Ramesh, Shreya. Okay, Reshman. So it's Kumar Gupt who laid the foundation of Nalanda University, and it was destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji. Very correct guess, Nivedita. Okay, Bakhtiyar Khilji, who was also one of the slaves of Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori, when he was going back, he had left 2 slaves in India. Correct? One was whom? One was Qutbuddin Aibak, who laid the foundation of slave dynasty, also referred as Mamluk dynasty. In the coming years, it was also referred as Ilbari dynasty, specifically during the time of Iltutmish. Okay, and then another was Bakhtiyar Khilji, who destroyed the famous Nalanda University, Udantipur University, Vikramshila University. I'll tell you one more important fact, and that fact is mentioned in very few books. Okay, after some time, I'll also tell you certain sources that you need to prefer. And that fact is, there was one person who had defeated Bakhtiyar Khilji. In fact, Bakhtiyar Khilji got frustrated after the defeat. And he was a ruler of Assam who had used scorched earth policy to defeat Bakhtiyar Khilji. Can anybody take a guess? Yes, Kabacha was Multan's ruler. Perfect, Shreya. No, Kirti, it was not Harshvardhan who built the Nalanda University. Yes, can anybody take a guess who was the ruler of Assam who defeated Bakhtiyar Khilji? Take a wild guess. Maharaj Prithu. Maharaj Prithu is also called as savior of Assam. Okay, moving ahead. South India, Korkai, Pompuhar and Musiri were all ports. Sangam dynasties, Sangam literature, most important one. Like, I'll tell you what all you need to study specifically in Sangam. Okay, how many Sangams were there? Sangam basically means council. Yes, how many Sangams were there and who patronized these Sangam? My friends, totally there were 3 Sangam. And all these Sangam were being patronized by Pandyan dynasty ruler. The first Sangam was held in Old Madurai. The second one, it was held in Kapadapuram, which is located in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. And the most important one, in second Sangam, one book was composed by Tolkapiyar. That book was referred as Tolkapiyam. You can Google this, my friend. Again, there was a direct question. Tolkapiyam is. So, like we have studied as a part of Ancient Indian History series, that I have covered all these things on YouTube. Okay. So, like Ashtadhyayi, it's a first book on Sanskrit grammar. Asht means 8. So, it is composed of 8 chapters. Similarly, Tolkapiyam composed by Tolkapiyar, very good Vikas, a very right guess. It's the first book on Tamil grammar. Okay. And the third Sangam was held in Madurai. So all these Sangams are important. Apart from this, you also need to understand different terminology specifically related to literature. Like what is Thinai, Marutham, Palai. Okay? What is Marutham? What is Palai? What is Niyathal? All these are themes. This is mountain theme. Palai, desert theme. Niyathal, agricultural theme. Sorry, Marutham, it's an agricultural theme. Okay. Marutham, it's an agricultural theme. Kurunji, it's a mountain theme. Palai, desert. Niyathal, coastal theme. So all these are important ones. Then important Sangam literature. Shilpadikaram, Mani Mekalai, Kundal Kesi, who composed these texts. Again, important one. The important dynasties, specifically speaking, Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas. Important ports, important rulers. Like for example, take a guess. Which ruler or which Chola dynasty ruler had constructed the famous Kalanai Dam? Yes, take a guess. Which Chola dynasty ruler has constructed the famous Kalanai Dam? Yes, Kurunji in Kerala, recently news. Yes, Vikas, very good. The Kalanai Dam was being constructed by Karikal. Another question I'll ask you. What is Kudavolai? Anyone? What is Kudavolai? Take a guess. No, it's Karikal. Yes, Karikal is the answer. Very good. Ramesh, Reshbaran, Shreya, very good. Vikas, very good. Yes, what is Kudavalai? It was also in news few days back. Very good, Reshbaran. Very good. It is nothing but electoral process related to Cholas. Okay, it's a kind of an election system, voting system. So, probable question you can expect from here. What are the important ports of Cholas, Cheras, Pandya? Capital, symbol, important rulers, administration. Okay, so specifically important literature. What is Ittu Togai? So these concepts are important from the exam perspective. Clear? Sangam. Which among the following explains the practice of Vatakirutal? Answer is king defeated in the battle. So, as I've told you, terminologies are the key. You have to retain them. Okay, moving ahead. Consider the following text. Niti Prakran, Paristhiti Parvan, Avadhanashatak, then Trishalak, then Mahapuran. Which among the following texts are related to, what is the question? Jainism. Paristhiti Parvan is one of the text and this one, fourth one. These are related to Jainism and the other are Buddhism. So texts are very important. One more fact I'll tell you. Gupta dynasty. So what are the important texts during the time of Gupta dynasty? Like specifically, which among the following? I'll ask you a simple question. Which among the following are the dramas of Kalidas? First one, Abhigyan Shakuntalam. Okay. Second one, Vikramo Vashiyam. First, second, third, Ritu Samhar. And fourth, Kumar Sambhav. Fifth, Meghdoot. I'll also write the options. Take a wild guess now. Okay. The question is, which among the following are the dramas of Kalidas? A, 1 and 2. B, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. And D, 1, 2, 4. Yes. Nivedita has given the answer 1 and 2. What about the others? Yes. My friends, Abhigyan Shakuntalam, Vikramo Vashiyam, Malvika Agnimitram, these are the important dramas associated with Kalidas. And this one, Kumar Sambhav, Meghdutam, Ritu Samhar, these are nothing but poems associated with Kalidas. Yes, Reshmaran, answer is correct. No, yes, A, 1 and 2. Very good, Nivedita. 3, 4 and 5 are the poems associated with Kalidas, such as Ritu Samhar, Meghdutam, Kumar Sambhavam, then Raghuvansham. All these are poems of Kalidas. Clear? Apart from this, literature related to Harshvardhan, Priyadarshika, Nagananda, Ratnavali, also very important. Okay? Correctly matched answer is, this one is wrong because Aryadev was a Buddhist scholar. So, scholars also have been asked in the examination. You have to go for it. Bhakti and Sufi movement in medieval India is important. Now, we'll take a last question of ancient India. Kautilya's Arthashastra, which among the following statements are correct? All of them. Now, specifically speaking, Kautilya's Arthashastra, if we go by the literal meaning of the word Arthashastra, one will say that it's a book on economics. My friends, Arthashastra, it's a political statecraft. Many of them do consider Arthashastra as the first book on geopolitics. Arthashastra is divided into 15 adhikarnas or 15 parts or 15 books. It has totally 150 chapters, and across 150 chapters, you can come across approximately 180 topics. There are 380 karikas in Kautilya's Arthashastra, which is composed of approximately 6,000 shlokas. Okay, so there are many important things in Arthashastra. One among them is Saptanga theory. Very good, Vikas. That is 7 limbs of the administration. Swami, Amatya. Okay, Swami, Amatya, Durg, Dand, Kosh, Mitra, and so on. Janpad. So, Saptanga theory is important. Another important theory from the perspective of examination precisely related to Kautilya was what? Mandal theory. So your terminologies are very important. One more important thing that you need to study, Megasthenes Indica, direct question has been asked. I'll ask you one question. Megasthene was an ambassador in the court of. Yes, take a guess. Yes, very good, Priyanka. Mandal means, Mandal theory, yes, one of the important ones. Kosh means treasury. Yes, Vikas. Megasthene was an ambassador in the court of. Take a guess. Most important one. He had laid the foundation of modern empire. Chandragupta Maurya. Okay. Not Nagarjun. Okay. Chandragupta Maurya, who is also referred in Greek and Latin literature as Sandrokotas and Androkotas. So Megasthene was an ambassador in his court, and whatever he has observed about the society at that time, he wrote it in a form of a book called as Indica. The original copy of Indica have been lost. We come to know about that these things have been mentioned in what we say Indica through the writings of Greek writers such as Pliny and so on. Clear? Apart from this, please also study about the Mauryan dynasty ruler. Also study about Bindusar. Which among the following ruler is referred as Amitraghat? It was Bindusar. He is also called as Antriochates in Greek and Latin literature. Ashok, the rock edicts of Ashok, administration of Mauryas. This year there was a question on administration of Mauryas. Correct? Like there was a direct question, Rajuka, Yukta and Pradeshika are. This year's question itself, 2025. So Rajuka, Yukta and Pradeshika, these are district level officers. Clear? So administration is also very important from the exam perspective. Now, what all points do we need to focus in ancient India or as a part of ancient India? Yes, Chand Ashok to Dharma Ashok. Perfect, Priyanka. After the Battle of Kaling, which took place in 261 BC. See, what points or what topics that you cannot miss, I'll tell you. And these topics are prehistoric culture. If you want, you can note them down. Prehistoric culture, Indus Valley civilization, Vedic civilization, Mahajanpad, Mauryan Empire, Buddhism, Jainism, Sangam Age, Guptas, and Pushyabhuti dynasty. You have to go through these topics compulsorily and just have an overview of the other dynasties such as Shunga dynasty, Kanvas, Satvahan, Kushan, and Sakas. So these are the important 15 topics which you cannot afford to miss before going for Prelims 2026. Compulsorily at any cost. Okay? Sources, you can go for the NCERT. Apart from NCERT, go for reading at least once Tamil Nadu State Board book. And another important source, okay, where you can find different questions as well, that is Poonam Dalal Dahiya for ancient and medieval India. Is it clear? Now I'll speak about medieval India for the next 10 minutes, and then after that I'll be speaking on modern Indian history as well. Specifically speaking, medieval India, you need to focus upon 3 to 4 core topics compulsorily. First topic is Delhi Sultanate. Example I'll give you. Who was the first Muslim invader of India? Any guesses? Yes, thank you, Nivedita. Ramesh, Ashoka's Dhamma. I'll give you a small example about this. I've taken a detailed session on Ashoka, all the other rulers, but I'll tell you. Specifically speaking, it is said that Battle of Kaling was fought in 261 BC and there was a lot of bloodshed. Approximately 150,000 persons were being killed. And when Ashoka saw himself, he was completely anointed from head to toe in blood. So at that time, he said that it is not necessary to win over the people by war, Bheri Ghosh. You can also win over the people by love and peace, Dhamma Ghosh. So Ashoka's Dhamma is basically based on the principles of peace. And it also adjoins certain important principles associated with Buddhism as well. Okay, apart from this, it is said that, I'll give you a very small example, although Ashoka had embraced Buddhism, but many historians do write in their books specifically that Ashoka, he had killed or he had ordered the killing of more than 18,000 Ajivikas. Okay, why? Because in the region, specifically in Pundravardhan, there was a painting that was being drawn. And the painting depicted specifically Vardhaman Mahavirji on higher pedestal and Buddha on a lower pedestal. So that hurted the sentiments of Ashoka. And he ordered the killing of approximately 18,000 Ajivikas, although he had accepted the Dhamma or Buddhism. Okay, so hope you understood who had asked this question, Ramesh ji. Okay, rock and pillar edicts. There are 14 major rock edicts of Ashoka, 3 minor rock edicts of Ashoka. There are 7 major pillar edicts of Ashoka, 3 minor pillar edicts of Ashoka. So all these are important from the exam perspective. Clear? Coming back here. Yes, what was the question that I asked you? Yes, the question was, who was the first Islamic invader of India? Very good. Nivedita has given the correct answer. Vikas has given the correct answer. Muhammad bin Qasim was the first Muslim invader of India. And his conquest over the region of Sindh and defeating the ruler Dahir, it finds mention in Chachnama or Fatehnama Sindh. He was being followed by Mahmud of Ghazni. I have covered approximately, I have taken 30 to 40 sessions on YouTube itself on medieval Indian history. You can go through that as well. Now, specifically Mahmud of Ghazni's purpose to attack India was to plunder India. He never had the intention to make India as its home. And then comes Muhammad Ghori, who had left 2 slaves in India. Okay, one was Qutbuddin Aibak, other was Bakhtiyar Khilji. So Qutbuddin Aibak, he had laid the foundation of slave dynasty. You have to go through important rulers of slave dynasty. One is Aibak, followed by Iltutmish, Razia Sultan, and the most important one, Balban. Like, I'll give you a small example. I'll ask you a question first. Who started Ikta system or Turkane Chahalgani system? Take a guess. Yes, Ramesh, it was 7112, 712. Who started Turkane-Chahalgani system? Yes, fast. Any guesses? Very good, Nivedita. Vikas. It was Shamshuddin Iltutmish who had started Turkane-Chahalgani system or Ikta system. Now, what is Ikta system? Giving a noble a piece of land in lieu of salary. And Ikta system was later on made hereditary by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Turkane-Chahalgani basically means appointing 40 powerful Turkish nobles who will aid and assist the ruler in performance of his duties. Okay? Then Iltutmish, he shifted the capital from Lahore to Delhi and so on. Everything. Then Iltutmish is important one. Razia Sultan, the only female ruler, not only of slave dynasty but of the entire Delhi Sultanate. Then comes whom? After him, specifically, Balban. Balban, he is known for his policy of blood and iron. He abolished Turkane-Chahalgani system. He started the system of sajda, that is prostration, and paibos, kissing the sultan's feet. Okay. Then, specifically after this, Khilji dynasty. And in Khilji dynasty, the most important one, Alauddin Khilji and his expeditions. Okay. I'll ask you one simple question. Who wrote the book Padmavat? First one. And it was written during the time of whom? Yes. Who wrote the book Padmavat? The book Padmavat was written in Awadhi language. Okay. And specifically, it was written during the time period of which ruler? Guys, StudyIQ on 10th of November is starting SIP English batch. And all things specifically related to prelims would be covered in quite depth and detail. Everything, like just now I have listed the topics specifically of ancient India, the important ones. All these topics would be covered in quite depth and detail, keeping in note the probable things or the probable questions that can crop up in the prelims 2026. Okay. Vikas, you say it's Jai Singh. It's specifically, no, it was not during the time of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Very good, Nivedita. One part of your answer is correct. Malik Muhammad Jaisi, but it was written during the time of Sher Shah Suri. Okay. So, Alauddin Khilji's expeditions are important. South Indian expeditions of Alauddin Khilji, which were led by Malik Kafur. Again, a very important topic from the exam perspective. Then Tughlaq dynasty. In Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq again are important. Okay. Precisely speaking about Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he started an agricultural department called as Diwan-e-Kohi department. He is known for his 5 major experiments. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he has started different departments. Diwan-e-Bandagan, that is slave department. Diwan-e-Ishtiyaq, pension department. Diwan-e-Khairat, charity department. Apart from this, he had ordered the construction of more than 800 canals, precisely 845 canals for the purpose of irrigation. And the Persian word for these canal was Rajwah. Again, in medieval India, terminologies are very important. Rajwah. So, it is said that he started or imposed a taxes on irrigation which is referred as Haq-e-Sharb tax. Specifically speaking, after Tughlaq dynasty comes Sayyid dynasty. After Sayyid comes Lodi dynasty. The most important one, Behlol Lodi. Behlol Lodi, he was the, longest ruling ruler. Like he ruled for the maximum time, 37 years. He was being followed by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who ruled approximately for 36 years. And then Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who ruled approximately for 26 years. So, Behlol Lodi, important one. Sikandar Lodi, important one, because he started a land revenue unit measurement called as Gaj-e-Sikandari. Alauddin Khilji had introduced market reforms. Okay. Alauddin Khilji had introduced land revenue unit measurement called as Biswa. Sikandar Lodi, Gaj-e-Sikandari he had introduced. He had, made the city of Agra. He had beautified the city of Agra. Okay. And then comes Ibrahim Lodi, who was being defeated by Babar who laid the foundation of Mughal Empire in India after first battle of Panipat. Perfect, Vikas. Mughals. Babur, he laid the foundation of Mughal Empire in India. Correct? Babur, he fought 4 consecutive battles in India. The first one was Battle of Panipat, which was fought in approximately 1526. And in first Battle of Panipat, you can observe one thing. Babur had a small force of 10 to 15,000. On the other hand, Ibrahim Lodi, he had a force of more than 1 lakh. But still, why Babur was successful? Reason, Babur had deployed one technique. And that technique was called as Rumi technique. Okay. Now, Rumi technique, it is also called as Arba system. It is also called as Tuluguma technique. He used gunpowder for the first time. And this technique he had learned where? In Battle of Saraipul. Although he lost the battle was fought with Saibani Khan. But still he had learned this technique. Then Babur fought another battle, Battle of Khanwa near Agra with Maharana Sangha of Mewar. In fact, it is also said that, but this fact is not highlighted in majority of the books, that prior to Battle of Khanwa in 1527, there was one more battle between Babur and whom? Rana Sangha of Mewar. And that is Battle of Bayana. Bayana, it is a fort located in Agra. Again, this fact is not mentioned in majority of the books. Clear? Then Battle of Chanderi with Medini Rao, Battle of Ghagra, and so on. And Babur passed away approximately at the age of 46 or 47 years of age. And now comes to throne one of his son whose name was Humayun. The word Humayun, it's a Persian word which basically means fortunate enough. But unfortunately, Humayun is considered as the most unfortunate ruler of the entire Mughal dynasty. Why? Because during the tenure of Humayun from 1540 to 1555, there was a kind of a political vacuum. And the reason being, one dynasty had come to power. Sher Shah Suri was the reason for that, and that was Sur dynasty. The original name of Sher Shah Suri was specifically Farid. The construction of Grand Trunk Road, the credit goes to Sher Shah Suri. Okay. Initially, during the ancient India, a road was constructed during the time of Chandragupta Maurya. And the road actually started from Patliputra. It ended in Takshila. Medieval period, Sher Shah Suri expanded this road. And this was referred as specifically Sadak-e-Azam. Britishers called this as Grand Trunk Road. In fact, it was Lord Auckland. Okay? Yes, perfect, Reshamaran. Iran. He was deported to Iran later on. Now, Sher Shah Suri's administration is also very important. Correct? After that, again Humayun comes to power, and then Mughal Emperor Akbar. Akbar's military expeditions, Akbar's Rajput policy, Akbar's Mansabdari system, what is Sulh-e-Kul, and a new religion that is Din-e-Ilahi that was started at Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri. Okay? Akbar, he is also known for his policy of religious syncretism. This was a question this was asked in this year's mains. Okay? So, all these things about Akbar, followed by Jahangir. Jahangir's golden chain of justice system, Duhaspa and Sihaspa system, epitome of painting, followed by Shah Jahan, epitome of Mughal architecture. Example, Jama Masjid, Taj Mahal, Moti Masjid. Clear? Peacock throne and so on. And then finally comes Alamgir, also referred as Aurangzeb. So, later Mughal rulers, just have an overview of this. But these 6 Mughal rulers are very important from exam perspective. Another important topic that you cannot afford to miss is Bhakti and Sufism. Bhakti movement and Sufism. The word Sufism has been derived from the word Suf. And Suf basically means wool. And there are different silsilas associated with Sufism. And all these silsila have one common principle of Peer and Murid. Peer, in simple words, is a teacher. Murid is a disciple. So it's a common tenet. It's a principal tenet of Chishti silsila, Suharwardi silsila, Qadri silsila, and so on. So, Sufism is important. Bhakti movement is also very important. Like which among the following Bhakti saints are Sagunam? Which among the following Bhakti saints are Nirgunam? The compilation of the Dohas of Kabir are referred as. So, Bhaktism and Sufism. Apart from this, Vijayanagar kingdom. Okay, these are the important topics you must cover compulsorily. Other topics, you can have an overview of that. Bahamani kingdom, regional kingdoms, later Mughals, certain regional dynasties, and so on. Clear? So these are the topics that you need to focus on medieval India. Rather, like specifically, you can, like I'd suggest you one thing, same book, that is Poonam Dalal Dahiya for Ancient and Medieval India. Apart from this, if anyone aspires to read in quite depth and detail, they can also go for V.D. Mahajan. Clear? Now let's move to modern India. Yes, Krishna Dev Rai, perfect. The question is, under Rayatwari system, revenue collection, the peasants were exempted from revenue payment in case of any natural calamities. Under the permanent settlement, if the zamindar failed to pay his revenue to the state before the fixed date, he would be removed from his zamindari. This statement is correct, this statement is wrong. Now, land revenue system. During the time of Britishers, there were 3 land revenue systems that were being implemented. The first one was zamindari system. And zamindari system of land revenue is also called as Malguzari, Istemarari, Jagirdari system. And as a part of zamindari system or zamindari, what we say specifically, Ankit, you have a question? Okay. So specifically the session, my friends, the session would be approximately more 20 to 25 minutes more. Okay. Now, specifically zamindari system of land revenue. Now, as a part of zamindari system of land revenue, it is said that English East India Company directly did not collect the revenue from the peasants or the cultivators. In fact, zamindar acted as a middleman between English East India Company on one side and the peasants on the other side. Zamindar used to collect the revenue from the peasant, keep his commission, and other, like the extra money, he used to give it to the company. 1/11 was kept by zamindar and 10/11 went to the company. Approximately 89% of the revenue went to the company. This system is also called as, specifically speaking, this system is also referred as what? Permanent settlement. Why this system is called as permanent settlement? There's a reason behind that. And what's that? Specifically speaking, yes, sunset clause. Because for the next 10 years, for next 1 decade, it is believed that the taxes won't change. Suppose I'm a farmer, I'm a peasant, I have to pay 100 rupees as a tax to the company. Okay. Now, out of 100 rupees, 89 rupees will go to the company, and 11 rupees would be kept by zamindar. At this particular point of time, for the next 1 decade, the taxes won't change. Zamindar, if he is unable to collect the revenue from the peasants, what will happen? He has to shift his zamindari to somebody else, or he has to, in fact, Britishers will take away his zamindari rights. It was introduced by Lord Cornwallis and it covered approximately 19% of British India. Then comes Rayatwari system. The genesis of Rayatwari system goes back to the era of Sher Shah Suri. Now, Sher Shah Suri, he did not collect the land revenue on the basis of quantity of the land. He collected the land revenue on the basis of quality of the soil, fertility of the soil, productivity. Okay, like he had classified the land into 3 categories: good, average, and bad. And the taxes were collected accordingly. Same thing was adopted by Akbar. During the time of Akbar, the peasants were categorized into 3 categories. That is specifically Khuda Kasht, Pahi Kasht, and Muzarriyam. And the land was classified into 4 categories: Polaj, Parauti, Chachar, and Banjar. Okay? Specifically speaking. So in that case, what happens? This system was later adopted by whom? Lord Hastings, and implemented by Thomas Munro and Captain Reeds in Madras Presidency and Elphinstone in Bombay Presidency. As a part of the system, English East India Company directly collected the revenue from the peasants. The role of Zamindar got ended directly, but indirectly still there was a role of Zamindar. Why? Because Zamindar has now become money lender. How? As I've told you, company directly collected the revenue from whom? Peasants. The role of Zamindar has ended directly. True? Now what happens? Here, specifically, the land was classified on the basis of quality of the soil. The fertile land, they had to pay 60 to 66% land revenue. Average land, the land revenue was approximately 50 to 55%. And on barren land, the land revenue was approximately 40 to 45%. Can you imagine? On unproductive land, the land revenue was 45%. Okay, so specifically speaking, like here, if we understand about this aspect, as a part of Rayatwari system, if I am a peasant, I am unable to pay the revenue to the company, what will company do? Company will seize my land. And as a peasant, as a cultivator, land is the only important asset that I have. So what will I do? I will go to the money lender, or I will go to Zamindar, who has now become money lender, because only he has the money. But every one of us know that Zamindar or the money lenders used to exploit the peasants a lot. If you understand Deccan riots of 1875, the major cause here was Zamindar. Okay, so specifically speaking, Zamindar, he will charge exorbitant interest rate on the principal amount that he has given to me. So as a part of Rayatwari system, I am dually exploited. If I am unable to pay the revenue to the company, company will seize my land. If I am unable to pay the interest rate to the money lender, he will seize my land. Then comes Mehalwari system of land revenue. And Mehalwari system of land revenue, it was implemented by Holt Mackenzie and R.M. Bird. And it came up during the time of Lord William Bentinck. So, here it was not collected from individual peasants, but it was and John Shore. They had given the ideas of decennial settlement. They had given the ideas precisely of certain modifications. In what? Certain modifications in the quennial settlement that was implemented previously by Warren Hastings. But later on it was converted into decennial by whom? By Lord Cornwallis. Hence, these were John Shore and James Grant who were advisor to Cornwallis. And since Cornwallis was the Governor General of Bengal at that time, he gets a credit specifically for this system. Sub-infeudation. There's a reason behind that. Feudal system. I'll give you a very simple example. You can understand this with the help of an example, Shubham ji. How there is something called as vicious cycle of indebtedness. A very simple example. Tan Chung, he has paraphrased in detail, and Tan Chung, he says that specifically, Britain got tea, China got opium, and India got colonialism. I'll give you a small example. During the time of Lord William Bentinck, opium was cultivated in the region of Malwa, precisely the Neemach and Mandsaur districts of Malwa, that is located in Madhya Pradesh. So Britishers at that time, during the time of William Bentinck, it is said that Exchequer was running a loss of approximately 1 million. So he cancelled or abolished the double batta system. He reduced the salary of everyone to half. Apart from this, what did he do? He imposed duty on the cultivation of opium in the region of Malwa. Now what used to happen, apart from cultivation, you also need to pay the land revenue. So, and land revenue, that too before the harvest. So what used to happen? The peasants used to take loans from money lenders. In such a case, the peasants, they were trapped in the vicious cycle of indebtedness. Okay, so to an extent, it is believed that sub-infeudation, or specifically, the reasons were the policies that was being adopted by the colonial rule. Is it clear? Shubham, you have asked a question? Yes. Moving further, I'll be talking about another question. Hope you understood about the system. In the end, I'll be talking about what important aspects that you guys need to focus in modern Indian history as well. Okay. Yes, Shubham, did you get the point? Please answer in the comment section. Which of the following acts declared Governor of Bengal as Governor General of India? Friends, Regulating Act 1773 declared Governor of Bengal as Governor General of Bengal. And the first Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings. Now, Lord Warren Hastings was assisted in performance of his duties with an executive council of 4, Clavering, Philip Francis, Richard Barwell, George Monsoon, and so on. So, precisely speaking, Regulating Act 1773 declared Governor of Bengal as Governor General of Bengal. And then comes St. Helena Act, that is also referred as Charter Act 1833. As a part of Charter Act 1833, it is believed that the Governor of Bengal, Governor General of Bengal, was now designated as Governor General of India. And the first Governor General of India was Lord William Bentinck. Okay. Another important thing, the works of these Governor Generals are also very, very important. Like my first question to you guys is, the PW department, that is the Public Works Department, came up during the time of which Governor General? Yes. I'll give you a hint. He was the youngest Governor General. So answer to this question is 1833. He became the Governor General at the age of 36. Yes, take a guess. His original name was James Andrew Ramsay. If I give you one more hint, 100% you will be able to answer this question. And the hint is, first time passenger railway started during his time. Yes, which covered the approximately 33 to 34 kilometers, Boribandar to Thane. Answer is Lord Dalhousie. So, doctrine of lapse system, non-regulation system. Apart from this, the guarantee system which was introduced for development of railways in India. The credit goes to whom? Dalhousie. Shimla made as a summer capital of India. For the first time, passenger railway was introduced by him. Gurkha regiment came up during his time. Then William Bentinck, he abolished the system of sati. Okay, I'll ask you another question. Which Governor General started Thuggy and Dacoity Department under William Henry Sleeman? Yes? Thuggy and Dacoity Department under William Henry Sleeman. Take a wild guess. Again, I'll give you a hint. He was the first Governor General of India. Lord William Bentinck. Okay. In fact, there is a village named as Sleemanabad on the name of William Henry Sleeman. So specifically speaking, this is nothing but what? Important Governor Generals. You have to focus on important Governor General. You cannot afford to skip that part as well. So, Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, these are they are involved in archaeological excavations. Okay. Now, English East India Company and its history. Now, specifically speaking, you have to focus on English. Who were the first to arrive in India? That is Portuguese. In Portuguese, you need to understand the role of whom? Who had introduced Blue Water Policy? Yes. I'll ask you one simple question. Who introduced Blue Water Policy? To have a monopolistic control over the trade in Indian Ocean. Yes, take a guess. Francisco de Almeida introduced Blue Water Policy. Then you have to go for the works of Albuquerque. He had abolished sati in the region of Goa, made Goa as the epicenter of economic activities, not the capital of Portuguese. Goa was made the capital of Portuguese by Nino Cunha. Okay. The Portuguese rulers, VOC, that is United East India Company or Dutch East India Company, they established their first factory at Masulipatam. Okay. And they were not granted land by Gajapati ruler because Gajapati rulers majorly ruled over the region of Utkal. Utkal means Odisha. Okay. Then majorly the battle of specifically Kulachal, which took place between Martanda Varma and Dutch East India Company, that is D. Lenoy. English East India Company, its establishment, important charter acts, important governor generals, important factories, everything is important about English East India Company. What acts do you have to compulsorily read? First one is Regulating Act 1773, Pitt's India Act 1784, okay? Then Charter Act 1793, Charter Act 1813, because as per Charter Act 1813, monopoly of English East India Company got ended, but not completely. Still, the monopoly was kept intact in terms of China and tea. Charter Act 1833, then Charter Act 1853, which is considered as the last charter, and finally Government of India Act 1858. All these points you need to focus upon. Okay, as I've told you, the question can be asked on the factories of English East India Company, the first factory of French East India Company. Yes, Anglo-Mysore War, Anglo-Maratha War, important Carnatic Wars. Clear? So, there can be questions specifically on these aspects as well. Now, another important thing, subsidiary alliance system that was introduced by Lord Wellesley. So, what all points do you need to focus in history, modern Indian history, I'll tell you. Arrival of Europeans. If you want to write along with me, you can note it down. Apart from this, major emphasis should be given on English East India Company. Important acts, important governor generals. Yes, perfect. Important governor generals. Apart from important governor generals, you need to focus upon the works of different governor generals. Like who started ring fence policy? What is security cell policy? Okay. What is subsidiary alliance system introduced by Wellesley, Lord Richard Wellesley? And why was subsidiary alliance system influenced by Dupleix? Okay. Then apart from this, you need to study about important governor generals and so on. Land revenue system. Then apart from land revenue system, what you need to focus upon? Specifically peasant movement, such as Indigo agitation of Bengal. Okay, Pabna unrest. Apart from Pabna unrest, you have to focus on Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, Badoli Satyagraha, Mopla rebellion, and so on. So peasant movements are very important. Important education commission. Yes, the first madrasa was established in Calcutta, also referred as Alia Madrasa. It was established by whom? Take a guess. Yes. Calcutta Madrasa was established by whom? It was established by Lord Warren Hastings, followed by Sanskrit College, which was established by Jonathan Duncan. In fact, Jonathan Duncan, he was the governor of Bombay Presidency from 1795 onwards. Jonathan Duncan. Then comes Charter Act 1813. And as per Charter Act 1813, Britishers decided that they are going to spend 1 lakh rupees every year for the purpose of education. Then the question comes, how to educate Indians? Anglicist Orientalist controversy. So Orientalist viewpoint, they believe that Indians should be educated in their mother tongue. On the other hand, Anglicists believe that we want Indians by blood and color of their skin, but by their manners, morals and etiquettes, they should be complete Englishmen. So Orientalist viewpoint was being supported by James and Henry Prinsep. On the other hand, Anglicist viewpoint was being supported by W. W. Bird, C.B. Saunders, Bushby, Colwyn, and so on. Apart from this, different education commissions such as Wood's Dispatch 1854. Very good guess, Vikas. Then Hunter Commission, Raleigh Commission. During the time of Raleigh Commission, Indian University Act 1904 came into force. Then comes specifically Sadler Commission, Hartog Committee. Most important one, Wardha Scheme of Education. Okay, also referred as Nai Talim. It was an idea of M.K. Gandhi and Dr. Zakir Hussain, Sargent Education Report and so on. Correct? Yes, 1 lakh rupees as per Charter Act 1813. Perfect guess, Ramesh. Then, important Famine Commissions, such as Strachey Commission, Colonel Bade Committee, John Woodhead Commission, Lyall Commission, which was appointed to overhaul or investigate the causes of famine in the region of Bundelkhand. So specifically, famine commissions. Socio-religious reforms. Founder of Arya Samaj, founder of Arya Mahila Samaj, founder of Brahmo Samaj of India or Navavidhan, Adi Brahmo Samaj. Clear? Who wrote the book Gulamgiri? It was written by Jyotiba Phule. The first women university was started by whom? D.K. Karve, Dhondu Keshav Karve. Aligarh movement and so on. So social religious reform movements are also very important. Okay. Apart from this, then Indian Press Act. Licensing Regulation 1823, Metcalfe Act 1835, most important one, Vernacular Press Act 1878. And as per Vernacular Press Act 1878, for example, if you have to start a newspaper, compulsorily you need to have a license. Apart from this, you have to keep certain amount of security money with the government. And in that case, if you have written something derogatory against the government, your security money will be forfeited. Press property would be confiscated and there cannot be appeal in the court of law. Magistrate's decision is final in such a case. Okay, 4 newspapers had to stop the publication as per Vernacular Press Act. That is Som Prakash, Dakka Prakash, Bharat Mihir, Samachar. Overnight, one newspaper became a, specifically what? Overnight it became English newspaper, that is Amrit Bazar Patrika, to escape the VPA. Then Revolt of 1857, important one. Indian National Congress and its session and all the activities related to M.K. Gandhi, compulsorily you have to read. All the activities. Like for example, M.K. Gandhi, he was born at a place called as Porbandar in Gujarat. And at a very young age, he was married. He goes to London to complete his degree in law. After that, he comes to India and start practicing as a lawyer. After some time, he goes to South Africa on the insistence of Dada Abdullah or Sheikh Abdullah. And he was given the first class railway compartment ticket. And at a place called as Pietermaritzburg, he was thrown out of the first class railway compartment. So he goes to Dada Abdullah and asks him, is this the treatment that was given to me? Or is this the condition of every Indian and Asian living in South Africa? He comes to know this is a condition of everyone. Okay. So specifically speaking, there were different kind of people who were living in South Africa. Indentured laborer, ex-indentured laborer, Memon Muslim. Even if I have to purchase a bread from a nearby shop, I have to carry a passport size of document to reveal my identity. I cannot use the footpath that is being used by Englishmen. If any Englishman is passing by, I have to kneel down in front of him. Forget about bowing down. So that was the condition of people living in South Africa. And M.K. Gandhi, he coined the term Satyagraha for the first time in his newspaper, Indian Opinion in South Africa. He wrote a book called as Hind Swaraj on a ship called as Kildonan Castle. In 1915, he came to India. And his political guru was Gopal Krishna Gokhale ji. Okay, he said that before entering into mainstream Indian politics, first of all, tour the entire India and try and understand the grassroots realities of India. And for the first time, he got the opportunity to enter into mainstream Indian politics in 1917 in the form of Champaran Satyagraha, where he was being invited by a local peasant, Rajkumar Shukla. So he went to the region of Champaran, located in North Bihar, along with J.B. Kriplani, A.N. Sinha, Mazhar Ullah, Mahadev Desai, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and so on. So from here, Indian National Congress was driven by the policy of Mahatma Gandhi. Non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, and so on. Swadeshi movement 1905, important. All India Muslim League, Surat session 1907, and Lucknow session 1916. Okay. So these are the important things that you need to focus upon in modern Indian history. So do not skip any of the Gandhian movements. Okay. My question to you guys is, which was the session of Indian National Congress wherein Gandhi participated for the first time? Take a guess. M.K. Gandhi participated in this session for the first time. Yes? Any guesses? It was 1901 session. My another question to you guys is, how many Englishmen, was there any Englishmen who presided over the sessions of Indian National Congress? Yes. Were there any Englishmen who participated in the sessions of Indian National Congress? Belgaum session, it was presided by M.K. Gandhi in 1924, but the first session that was attended by him was in 1901. Yes, answer to this question. Were there any Englishmen who participated or who presided over the sessions of INC? If yes, then how many? Take a guess. There were 4 Englishmen who presided over the sessions of INC. First one was George Yule, Allahabad session 1888. Yes. William Wedderburn, Alfred Webb, Henry Cotton, and so on. Alan Octavian Hume was never the president of INC. He's just a secretary to Indian National Congress. That's it. Okay? So, INC, its sessions, everything are important. Apart from this, Indian Council Act 1909. For the first time, Muslims got a separate electorate in this act. Government of India Act 1919, also referred as Montego-Chelmsford reforms, because Montego was Secretary of State for India and Chelmsford was Viceroy of India. Then Government of India Act 1935 and India Independence Act 1947. So these are the key focus areas. Again, which book to read and where to cover these topics from, and where can I expect the questions from? I've told you the topic from where you can expect the questions. Majority of the students, they read the book Spectrum. I would suggest you a book, B.L. Grover and Alka Mehta over Spectrum, and go for reading the NCRTs as well. Okay. So my friends, hope so you understood how to analyze the trend of the history precisely for prelims 2026, or for that sake whenever you are giving your prelims exam. Clear? Any question, any query, any kind of a doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay? So guys, with this, do you have any question, any query? Okay, clear, Nivedita, thank you. So my friends, with this, I'll stop my words for the day. Okay, see you with other sessions. The most important thing that I'll tell you is about the SIP batch. Now, StudyIQ IS, it has come up with SIP, that is Success in Prelims batch. Okay. Now, precisely speaking, it's a crash course and the batch will start on 10th of November. Everything would be taught you in detail, because prelims these days, it has become a very competitive exam. Correct? Like every year, approximately 4 to 5 lakh aspirants aspire for the UPSC exam. Approximately 2 to 3 lakh forms are being filled and 2.5 lakh students appear in the examination. Approximately 10,000 students qualify the prelims exam, 3,000 qualify the mains exam. So, 2,50,000 forms were being filled, or 3 lakh students appeared in the exam, and just 10,000 they qualified the prelims exam. What about the others? My friends, here you need to understand, prelims is a test of elimination, not selection. Okay? And to prevent yourself from getting eliminated, you need to have a very disciplined, second, consistent, and third, strategic approach. And as a part of SIP batch, all these 3 aspects would be followed. A proper timetable through which your syllabus would be covered. The classes would be continuously and consistently. And the most important one, the key points would be focused along with CSAT. Okay? So it's a crash course that is starting specifically on November 10th. The gold batch, it is 5,999. The platinum batch, it is 7,999. So in that case, use the code that is flashing on your screen, Alok Live, to get the benefits of these batches. And as a part of SIP course, I would be going in quite depth and detail into the syllabus. Clear? So do use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen. With this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye. Good night.